Well, we are counting down to November 3rd here on your local election headquarters. Political analysts and election officials say we might not know who the winner is on election night. Some say it could take days or even weeks for states to count all of their ballots. Joining us now to talk about this process is Dr. Lee Hanna, a political science professor at Wright State University. Thanks for being with us here tonight. There are resources and polling that help us look at each candidate's path to the nomination. It tells us which states they need to get to 270 electoral votes, but this is being complicated by the number of mail-in ballots this year. If it's a landslide, we could know the winner November 3rd, but if it's a close race, which states might we not see results from on election night, and how long could it take?
Hi, Brooke. Yes, there are states vary in their election laws, and states really do carry out their elections at every single level. And so we have some states like Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, and Arizona, which have counted mail ballots in the past. They're pretty efficient in how they carry that out, and they have laws that allow them to process the ballots well in advance of Election Day. But we have some other states that might be very pivotal in this election, like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, that could be very slow to report their final outcomes. And I also think because of how close those elections were in 2016, we're talking about 70,000 voters across 3 states, you may see that they will even be more reluctant to call a winner unless it's really certain.
So in addition to the laws in specific states, a recent NBC News Wall Street Journal poll found 59% of registered voters plan to vote early, which includes 76% of all Democratic voters, but only 42% of Republicans. How might this influence how election night plays out as the votes are counted?
Sure. Well, just for comparison, only 23% of voters voted by mail or early in 2016. So we're looking to more than double that number. So on the one hand, it means that many ballots are already in, they're processed, and they're just waiting to be tallied. But those initial reports that will come in on election night, you really have to take with a grain of salt. They might have a really heavy bias, especially towards the Democrats in states like Florida, where it does look like Republicans will be catching up on Election Day. And it's really a difference in the way the two parties have talked about voting and the value of mail-in and voting early. So for that reason, you really do have to remain patient and trust the networks that they won't get ahead of themselves in calling any races too early.
Patience is not our strong suit here. Well,
No, it's not.
The confirmation vote is happening today for Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has handled a number of last-minute appeals over election procedures. Is there any way Barrett's likely confirmation could have any effect on voting or election results? All right, looks like we might have lost Dr. Hanna, but we appreciate him being with us here tonight.
All right, Lee, we'll catch up later. Thanks for joining us live.